Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL world is buzzing, and as Giants fans, we need to keep our eyes wide open because there's a lot happening behind the scenes that could seriously shake up the landscape of the NFC East, and more specifically, our beloved Giants' future. We've got rumors swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that could redefine our receiving core and give us that extra edge to chase another Super Bowl appearance. And trust me, this isn't just some baseless speculation. There are concrete signals pointing in this direction, and it's worth diving deep into what all of this could mean for us. So let's start with the core of this rumor. T. Higgins, the Bengals' dynamic wide receiver, might be heading to the New York Giants. Yes, you heard that right. The buzz is saying that Cincinnati, currently sitting at 3-3 after losing some key players like Chase to injury, might be open to trading Higgins. Why? Because after Chase went down with a shoulder injury, Cincinnati has been in a bit of a seller's position, especially with Higgins' value. The rumor floating around is that the Giants could land Higgins in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft, a move that would be a game-changer for our offense and future planning. Now, for those of you who aren't fully familiar with Higgins, let me give you a quick rundown. He's a 26-year-old wide receiver from Clemson, a real deep threat with a ton of upside. He was a Pro Bowler in 2022, and last season he put up some solid numbers, 28 catches for 412 yards on 48 targets, averaging about 7 yards per reception with 4 touchdowns. His PFF grade in 2025 is around 76.8, which is pretty good considering the circumstances. He's known for his velocity, his ability to stretch the field, and his contested catch skills, which would be a huge upgrade for our passing game. Over his career, Higgins has accumulated 295 receptions for 11 yards and 32 touchdowns in 64 games, so he's definitely proven himself as a reliable target. And let's talk about his recent form. Last season, he had over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns with a PFF grade that peaked at 82.4, showing he's trending upward. Even after suffering a quad injury in 2024, which kept him out for 12 games, Higgins proved his resilience with a 2% deep conversion rate, putting him in the top 15 for that metric, and an elite 1% contested catch rate. That's the kind of player you want on your team if you're aiming for a deep playoff push. But Cincinnati isn't just going to give him away for nothing. Their current situation involves trying to rebuild their offensive line, which has been a bit shaky this season, allowing 25 sacks and posting a PFF run-blocking grade of only 58. 2, they're looking for draft capital to help bolster their trenches, especially with Joe Burrow's elite quarterback rating of 92. 1, and their odds of winning the Super Bowl dipping slightly after some injuries and inconsistent play. The idea of trading Higgins for a second-round pick makes sense for Cincinnati if they believe it helps them address their offensive line issues and rebuild around Burrow faster. Now, skeptics might point out that trading Higgins might weaken Cincinnati's offense, especially with Chase still in the mix. But the fact remains that Higgins provides an immediate upgrade to our wide receiver room, which has been somewhat inconsistent this season. Darius Slayton, for example, has been battling a hamstring injury, and the overall depth at wide receiver has been tested. With Higgins, we're not just adding a player, we're adding a true WR1 who can be that deep threat and red zone weapon that can help us stretch the field and score more efficiently. His ability to make contested catches and his yards after catch, YAC, are exactly what we need to open up our offense and keep defenses honest. Switching gears a little, let's look at what this could mean for our offense moving forward. We've seen flashes of potential with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, especially with his ability to extend plays and hit those deep shots. But our passing attack has lacked consistency, and Dart's arm, while promising, hasn't been fully tapped into yet. He's averaging around 192 passing yards per game, which ranks 26th in the league. Bringing in Higgins could be the spark we need, someone who can help us take advantage of Dart's arm strength and turn those opportunities into big plays. Higgins, deep target conversion rate and contested catch efficiency could push our passing game to a whole new level. And it's not just about the immediate impact. Think about the future. If we acquire Higgins and he performs as expected, we could be looking at a duo, Higgins and Robinson, who could threaten to reach 2-0 yards combined next season. That kind of production would be a massive boost for our offense and could elevate us into the top tier of NFL passing attacks. Plus, Higgins' presence in the red zone, where we've seen a plus 20% increase in TDs, would give us that extra dimension in scoring situations. Right now, our red zone efficiency is improving, but adding a player like Higgins, who has shown he can produce in those critical moments, could be the difference between a good season and a great one. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Giants are currently sitting with 2-4, but the potential for a playoff run is still very much alive. With the right pieces, especially at wide receiver, we could see a significant lift in our chances. Higgins' average of 8. 4 targets per game in the playoffs last year, and his top 10 yards after catchability against man coverage make him a real X-factor. Plus, in the windy conditions of MetLife, Higgins' explosiveness and ability to make plays in tight coverage could be exactly what we need to surprise some teams in the postseason. Looking at the division, the Cowboys and Eagles are both having solid seasons, but the NFC East is always unpredictable. A trade like this could give us that extra punch to compete with the best. Imagine Higgins lining up alongside Robinson, creating mismatches all over the field and darting downfield with his speed and contested catch skills. It would send a message to the rest of the league that the Giants are serious about contending and building a roster capable of making deep playoff runs. But of course, all of this hinges on whether Cincinnati pulls the trigger and if the Giants can meet their asking price. The negotiations will be interesting to watch because both sides have their reasons. Cincinnati wants to rebuild their line, and the Giants want to add a proven weapon for their young quarterback. The second-round pick in 2026 might seem like a lot now, but if Higgins helps us get to the playoffs and beyond, it's a move that could pay dividends for years to come. Plus, it aligns perfectly with our strategy of building through the draft and adding veteran talent where it counts. And speaking of the Giants' current roster, let's not forget that we're in a bit of a transitional phase. Tyrod Taylor has been doing his best to keep us afloat, but Dart's development is crucial. Higgins' addition could accelerate that growth, giving us a true WR1 to grow alongside him. Our offensive line, which has struggled at times, will also benefit from the extra attention and schemes that Higgins can stretch the defense with. The potential for a 2,000-yard duo next season is not just a pipe dream. It's within reach if we make the right moves. Looking at the bigger NFL picture, this move could also be indicative of the Giants' aggressive approach in recent years, trying to seize opportunities and not settle for mediocrity. We've seen how trades and draft picks have shaped our team, and bringing in a talent like Higgins would be a bold statement. It's about winning now, but also laying the foundation for sustained success. The NFC East is always a tight race, and if we can bolster our receiving core, we might just be the team to beat in the division and make some serious noise in the postseason. As we analyze all these factors, it's clear that the potential Higgins trade isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about upgrading our entire offensive identity, giving our young quarterback the tools to succeed, and creating a balanced attack that keeps defenses guessing. If Cincinnati is truly open to dealing Higgins, the Giants should be all in. This could be the move that defines our season, propelling us toward that elusive Super Bowl we've all been dreaming of. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the New York Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news.